I think there's some other ones worth noting also that signed with the Battles and another NIL group that's primarily focused on retaining players, which is a pretty cool idea. I think two worth noting. That's three. Dennis Briggs. Not that he was going to be going anywhere NFL draft wise of that nature, but now with the transfer portal, you don't know what's happening. I mean, the Jared Jackson thing was kind of a shock there. Florida State was able to have a plan B, C. They always do. It seems like with Mike Norvell's staff of getting Daryl Jackson from Miami to come in. He already had ties with Florida State staff too, but I think Dennis Briggs is one worth noting there. He's going to return for 2023. Kentron Poitier, which I thought could be up in the air on what he wanted to do. A guy that you would see flashes throughout games, has some good hands too, a nice red zone threat. We saw that throughout the season. Jordan Travis really liked going to number 88. And then Malik McClain in there too, because he was kind of fighting there at the starting unit. Ontario Wilson as being the most experienced guy in the room overall in Florida State's system would get the start over him. And then Johnny Wilson alongside Micah Pittman would be out there. Not like Malik McClain wasn't getting a lot of reps, but there's now opportunities elsewhere, and you're seeing a lot of guys that have started in other ACC programs go and try to find other places to play. And so I think those three are worth mentioning. And just to what you're going to be bringing back next year too in that wide receiver room, it is absolutely stacked. And with the talent that's coming in with Destin Hill, I mean, come on now, we are not done with the Destin Hill saga. I didn't really mean to mention that because now the entire comment section will be about Destin Hill, but Mark, it gets the clicks. Mark, it gets the clicks.
Yeah, I'll take it.
It blows up now. Thank you, Logan, for that one.
Destin Hill. Get ready. It's going to be, we have our show at 8:00. I think I'm just going to start off with that just to start getting some views to come in now. That's just kind of how I use his name now, just to bring in the clicks.
Deshaun Platt 2.0. A lot of Florida State fans don't know who Deshaun Platt is, but
we know who Deshaun Platt is.
But he was supposed to be the next guy. He was in my class. I think he was a 5-star, if I remember correctly, like one of the top wide receivers in the nation. I don't know what he looks like. He never made it. Him, Lonnie, I think Lonnie Davis was from Jacksonville.
Fred Rouse.
I don't know.
Fred played though. Like Fred actually came to Florida State. I don't know. Like this is part. I feel old, and I know obviously you're not, but you're a little more dated than me and even Jason. But like, you know who all these people are now. Like, I remember the report when I was coming out. Somebody put that I was 6'4", 245 pounds, and I was like, if I was 6'4", 245, holy crap! I wouldn't even be thinking. I would be thinking about. I would already be signing my NFL checks, but like, you just lie so much on the internet. But like, I legitimately had guys in my recruiting class who were supposed to come. I have no idea who they are, what they look like. They just didn't show up. People just didn't show up. So like this whole what's his name? The kid we were just talking about. Destin Hill. Like, just it's not new. It's happened before. Like, Destin Hill doesn't exist until I see Destin Hill over off of Woodward by the Bellamy building with that hot dog stand with the people who make the fresh squeezed lemonade. Until I see him with a hot dog at that stand, a fresh squeezed lemonade, and somebody take a picture with Mike Norvell in the background and 2 spoons. I want very specific things that's going to let me know that this isn't Photoshop. But I don't believe in Destin Hill as even a person. Actually, I don't know what Destin Hill looks like.
You reminded me of people at work that used to get on me and tell me that my girlfriends didn't exist, that I showed them pictures of because they never saw them in person.
Real quick to James, shout out to Mom and Pop's, the hot dog stand on campus. Shout out to them. Grace Hot Dog.
Is this still there?
Yes, it's still there.
Oh, bet. When I come back home, I'm taking the boys. We're going up there.
A meteor could strike Florida State and everything would get taken out, and somehow, some way, that stand would still be there.
I don't even know if the hot dog's any good. I just remember it. It's nostalgic.
The hot dogs are crap, but for $1, when you were a fat guy who lived in Kellogg Hall and had to walk all the way to Different Ball, it was worth it. It was absolutely worth it.
Yeah, I forgot to mention one more too. So 4 in total. Lawrence Toafili returning also in 2023. I think that's a huge one with how that running back room is. We haven't really seen anything from Trayshawn Ward and what he intends on doing there. He was at practice, full participant, everything. Nothing changes there. You know, these guys are full steam ahead. And during practice, you see Amari Gaynor out there. There's a few others like Sidney Williams that are intending on entering the transfer portal, who have put their name in there. Mike Norvell allowing them to practice right now. The only person I haven't really seen is Sam McCall out there, but on good terms with a lot of these players, which is a really cool sign. And you're seeing Mike Norvell also quote tweet some of the players whenever they're putting out their announcements and giving them good words and encouraging some other schools to look at them. So it was cool just to see the culture change now, this shift here that Florida State and what Norvell has been able to do in that locker room. It's been huge. But it's just nice to see those players out there like Amari Gaynor, Keyshawn Helton, both guys that are intending on entering the transfer portal. They're out there practicing, and it's just interesting to see Coach Norvell out there allowing them to do that.
I was talking about that earlier with Mark on the Oklahoma channel, and I just think that and that needs to be talked about more in today's day and age where everybody's like these kids are selfish and the transfer portal is this and it's the devil and blah blah blah. You see guys who at the end of the day are understanding that this is business and this is a business decision, but at the same time taking a mindset of I'm going to still get better and still help my guys who I'm leaving, which I think, you know, keeps doors open. You never, one of the things about this game is you never know who's going to be where. I got to say, people don't know, I didn't play for, but Kirby Smart was a GA at Florida State when I was there. Back when GAs were treated really, really bad. I'll say that. A teammate of mine got into it with Kirby Smart while he was a GA. Kirby ends up leaving. That was in 2002. Kirby leaves to go to LSU with Saban. And then things happen. Then Saban goes to Miami. Kirby goes to Georgia for a year and then gets picked up by Saban. Well, that said, a teammate was about to get picked up by the Dolphins, but Kirby Smart was the DB coach. And those things don't get forgotten. And unfortunately, now years later, those things are forgiven. But he even says it as a cautionary tale, just like you never burn bridges especially if you may have to go back across them. And I love how, you never know who on this staff will be in the NFL. You never know who's going to be the person that's going to interview you. I think in today's day and age where NFL scouts, they do so much research on you. If they come in and they're saying, hey, man, coach, this guy left to transfer. How do you feel about him quitting on your team? He said, no, he was a Seminole all the way through and through until he was no longer a Seminole. I think that actually speaks more volumes to a guy who's on the fringe, because no matter what happens on the business on the NFL side, you get cut, you got a consummate professional that's going to come in and it's going to make your organization better. And I love that for guys like Amari Gaynor, Keyshawn Helton. Mm-hmm. I also know they're going to be successful whatever stop they go to.